All right, what's up? Let's just do it rather than waiting for the scheduled time. So I'm just sat here anyway. Hi, how we doing? It's been a long time since I did face cam, so that's fun. It's been many years since I did face cam, in fact. Let me just do the Discord ping. It'll be a weird day, man. It'll be a weird day having the face cam back and then talking about what we're going to talk about. Weirder for me than you. I don't know, maybe weird for both of us, who really knows. As always, you could hit the like button if you want, etc, etc. Let me know how you're doing, hope your day's going well. And I kind of just need to get this one done and out of the way, really. But I feel like I should wait until, like, a few people are about until we really talk about it. What's up, Pasha? How we doing, dude? Thanks for tuning in. But yeah, man, quite the day. What's up, Jimmy? Oh, all the names are still wrong, dude. All the names are still wrong. YouTube's still broken where it's showing the tags rather than like the actual channel names. But anyway, hi. If some of you have never seen me before, most people haven't seen me before, I am a real person. I am a real person. I am not just a name on a screen. I did say I'd do some face cam, although this wasn't really quite what I had in mind with the face cam stuff. But hi, Hemi. Hi. Dude, I'm really struggling with the names already. I'm going to have to go with the names that you've got in the chat right now. Otherwise, I'm going to struggle to, like, jump between all the names. But so, if I call you a name that's not your usual name, I apologize. I know who most of you are, but holy smokes, Fran, Chris Bob, etc. Thanks for being here. But I figure I am real. Yeah, I am real. This is obviously pre-recorded gameplay as well. What's up, Quincy? How we doing? So I've been thinking more and more recently about whether I want to keep doing this and whether it's reasonable for me to keep doing it. So that's what we're going to talk about today, rather than just sort of dropping it on you at some point. We're actually going to talk about it, because I'm not saying I'm quitting, but I'm saying that every day that passes, I think about it more and get closer to doing it. So we may as well talk about it. Is the audio all right, by the way? Is the game audio at a good level? It's playing through the PC, not through the Xbox, so all the audio is different. So if anything's off, let me know. Jimmy, thank you for 18 months, dude. That's a year and a half. I massively appreciate it, man. You're an absolute hero. Can we get big love for Jimmy in the chat, please, everybody? KSG's back. What's up, dude? How you doing, man? Thanks for tuning in. Oh, bro, right. We're just gonna have to do it, aren't we? We're just gonna have to talk about it. I don't really take much joy in doing this one, well, obviously, doing this one today, but we're gonna do it. And I figured if I'm gonna sit and talk to you guys about something pretty serious for me, we may as well do it on a connecting level with the face cam and everything, considering I agreed I would do this. So yeah, here we go, I guess. So this is going to be like one of two things, basically, the reality of this. Either things are as bad as I think they are, and that's a reason for me to be pretty concerned about my career prospects.
A donation has been received.
Things aren't as bad as I think they are, and that's reason for me to be pretty concerned about my health and my mental processing at this point. And I don't know which it is, particularly, or it might be both at this stage. Sorry, I missed... Oh, I haven't set up my... 1 second. 1 second, mate. Thank you very much, Jimmy, for the dono, pal. I just realized I hadn't set up my Streamlabs thingy. Which is now not... There we go. Jimmy, thank you for the 100 krona, mate. I appreciate it. Yeah, money, sad money. I appreciate it, man. Can we get Jimmy to love in the chat for the opening support of the day? Thank you, mate. I really appreciate that. You're a champ. You can let me know what you think of the face cam, by the way, because if I do continue to make content, I said I would do some of it like this. If it's worse than the normal experience, you can let me know. If you prefer it, you can let me know. If it's neither, you can let me know. Most people do a face cam. I've never really been a fan. I did it way back when I was on Mixer, which is years and years ago now, where most of you were not around. Sorry, I haven't got this tight enough. When most of you were not around. So yeah, it's been a long time since I've done this. Like trying to resize everything, get it where I want it. Yeah, big love to Jimmy, please. Thank you very much. You like tattoos? Thank you. I appreciate it. Very kind. Yeah. All right, I'm going to stop stalling. So, Battlefield 6 is not going particularly great for me in like a few different ways, and we'll cover it. And I kind of get the impression it's, although it's being well received by people so far, on the whole, I am getting quite a strong impression there's a pretty substantial section of the Battlefield community that actually aren't particularly happy. And although I don't think that's been the forefront of people's thoughts and isn't being covered much by content creators and by social media and stuff, I think it is fairly substantial and spreading, and I am concerned about it. And I do actually echo some of the feelings, more so than you guys probably imagine. And I always said that any affiliation with EA or any sponsorships or whatever will never alter how I do my content. So it can be considered feedback, I guess, as well, if anyone feels like viewing it that way. But yeah, if I'm gonna cover things the way I said I would, then we got to do it. So let's do it from a content perspective first. I've waited a really long time for this game. Like, I've waited as long as everyone else, of course, but I've waited a really long time from a content creation perspective. You're part of the community that don't like it, Jack. Yeah, I'll definitely get into that stuff. I'll definitely get into that stuff, because I do feel like it's not being covered. Because a lot of content creators are just enjoying the game, and maybe they don't agree, or maybe they don't see the problems or don't agree with the problems. But I'm definitely seeing a lot of negativity out there that's not really coming up in some of the channels and social media and stuff. And I am concerned about it. Luckless, welcome to the stream. But yeah, I've waited a long time for this game as a content creator. BF5 did not go particularly well. It went alright for me, but as a game, it didn't go particularly well. BF 2042 was BF 2042. Like, regardless of what anyone says to you now about it being decent, I just... I think we all know it was a huge failure, a huge flop. And from a content creation perspective, it was terrible, which is part of why I am where I am now in terms of my position. Because I just chose not to really make content on it. Well, I basically didn't after the first few weeks. And then I barely produced content full stop for like 3 years because of that. So that's part of why I am, well, that's the main reason why I am where I am now, I guess, really. But having gone through all that and waited such a long time and gone through the push of things being really quite difficult, to get to BF6 now and have things going the way they are for me, I mean, it's kind of heartbreaking, really. Like, it's definitely been, not been, it is. Like, right now, at the minute, it's very, very hard for me to sort of grapple with. But the main problem is that my content isn't really different from what I was doing before. In fact, I think it's better than what I was doing before, because that's how this works, you know. But I don't know if you guys have noticed, there's been a huge, genuinely massive influx of creators for Battlefield since the game released. Like, I'm seeing creators from Call of Duty and Apex and Marvel Rivals, and creators that I used to watch on Destiny, and creators I've never even seen before and don't know who they are. And it's put me in a spot where the content that I make, that used to be good enough to do well, the market's just saturated for it now. Like, I'm, for example, the last couple of videos I've posted have been gun list videos, which I've done a lot of before and have always done really, really well. They're just bombing. They're just bombing so hard because doing them at this point, I'm late. Like, we're only 2 weeks in, but I'm late to them because, and I'm not flaming people. Like, I get why people do it, but people are rushing out their content as quickly as possible. Whereas it's taken me this long to really get to grips with what to recommend and get an idea of how the guns work and stuff. When you have list videos coming out for best guns, best gun lists, best builds, etc., within a couple days or so, I can't keep up with that whilst doing the content to, or keeping the content at a quality level that I want to hit. Which is difficult, man, when you've got low video views and there's so much competition, so the stream views are down as well. That creates a circumstance where the growth has slowed down massively after the first few days. And income is just not there. Like, as a job, granted, I know we're early. I know we're early on. It's been a couple weeks. And I'm freaking out because I have issues with anxiety and, you know, depression and all that stuff. But the income just isn't there at the minute. So when you're working all the time, like I have been for a very long time, and you're then not getting the reward of the income, and your numbers just make you feel bad every day, a pretty horrible place to be at. Like, it's no fun waking up each day, picking up your phone, and the thing that you do for work makes you feel bad, and then you spend all day doing that work, and by the end of the day, you feel worse. I mean, that probably doesn't need explanation. Like, that's a pretty simple concept. I'm sure you all understand that. But there's also a difficulty for me, and we will get to the game rather than just my content. I will talk about what I'm concerned about with the game as well. But for me, for my content, across all of my content platforms, I'm actually doing really well. I think I've had, I don't know, if you add everything up over the time that Battlefield's been out, Battlefield 6, so if let's just do the last 28 days even. If we do the last 28 days, I've had 8 million views across my platforms, which is awesome. Like, that's great. You know, that's dream numbers if you'd offered that to me when I first started out. The problem is that about 5 million of those views came on Facebook, and I'm not monetized on Facebook. I've not been I've not been added into the monetization program over there, and they just invite you at a point when they deem it suitable, or they don't. So that's 5 million views I brought in for Battlefield content over on Facebook in 28 days that have made me zero money, which is obviously rough. TikTok, I'm not getting anything there. Instagram, I'm not monetized. So when you're making content every single day and you're pulling millions of views, but where you're doing well is not making you any money and you don't have any control over that, and then where you can make the money is where you're flopping. Flopping might be the wrong term, because I have had maybe 3 videos that have done well since BF6 came out, but if we look at the entirety of what I've produced for BF6 so far on YouTube, streams, videos, even shorts, and look at the average, it's bad, and it's trending downwards. And I'm not sure that I have the capability to turn it around. I don't know if it's within my power to turn it around. I just don't know. I don't know if I'm good enough. I think I'm a good enough content creator in general, like on average, to be successful. But I don't know if I'm good enough to get out of this spot that I'm in. This spot that I'm in might be too hard. It might require someone that is way better than I am and way more knowledgeable than I am. Which is something I've just really started to think about for the past couple of days. Like, I have to front up to the concept that maybe I'm just not good enough to make this work now that I'm so far behind other established people because of my lack of content for the last 3 years, and the influx of so many creators, established and otherwise, into the Battlefield space. And if I am good enough, like I said, I just don't know if I have the energy and desire to do it now, because each day is so difficult. Like I'm just not actually enjoying my days, and just haven't for such a long time. And this is supposed to be like a dream career for a lot of people. And maybe someone else in my position would still be super happy. I don't know. Maybe they would be like, no, this is great. I'm perfectly happy. Let's keep going. But yeah, man, I'm just not even close. Like from morning till night, I'm just not happy. So I'm having to really think about what I'm going to do. And I don't have the answer yet. Like I really wish I did have the answer. But I don't. I don't know if I'm going to work more, although I don't really know if I can work more, honestly, but I don't know if I'm going to hypothetically work more. I don't know if I'm going to work less. I don't know if I'm going to limit the uploads and just focus on absolute quality. I don't know if I'm going to copy what other people are doing and just spam out content. I don't know exactly what I'm going to do in terms of content creation. You got that YouTube bread, go outside for a run in the middle of the week or something. I mean, the problem is that I've never based how I make my decisions on what has already happened, because to me it's irrelevant. Like how things have been in the past doesn't affect my decision making now. I base my decisions on the information, the pointers that I'm getting in the moment. And at the minute, I don't think the outlook is good. And so just because I've had good performance before and made money before and all that, doesn't really factor into my decision making now, because YouTube's very fluid. YouTube's very, very fluid. And there comes a point where, for most content creators, their time is done. And I'm trying to work out if my time is done. Like I'm trying to work out if I've run my race and just fell a little bit short of where I was trying to get to, unfortunately. I could be wrong, you know. I could be wrong. I would like to be wrong, and maybe it will all be fine. But I'm currently not able to convince myself of that. Hi, Paul Cube. Hi, Alex. It's just an algorithm thing. I mean, it is, but it doesn't matter. Like, when you're on YouTube, everything is an algorithm thing. So, whilst it's an algorithm thing, it's no longer an excuse. It doesn't matter. I don't care. YouTube doesn't care, and you guys shouldn't care. You are having to work via an algorithm regardless. And if what I'm doing isn't working within the algorithm due to intense competition for the space that I'm in, it doesn't really matter that it's algorithm based or not. The reality is what the reality is. And if I'm not able to make it work, then I'm not able to make it work. There's no reason anymore for me to provide reasons or excuses, because they do just fall into irrelevancy. The only thing that matters is my performance and what that brings in terms of income, growth, and entertainment for you guys. If I'm not hitting those markers, I'm just not hitting those markers. I don't think anyone really saw it coming. I remember a lot of people prior to BF6 coming out, for, you know, a year or two prior to that, let's say, a lot of people like, hey, just keep going. Once that comes out, you'll be good to go. And I was always like trying to temper expectations to be like, I don't really know if that's the case, people. Like, I've said so many times, I appreciate the kind words. I appreciate the belief, the faith, and I appreciate the encouragement. But I didn't necessarily believe it because it's not as simple as that, unfortunately. So I'm kind of glad I prepared myself for it maybe being bad, but it's definitely a lot worse than even I expected. I didn't expect to be putting out videos and going, oh god, like, I don't know if this is even going to get near 10k. Not even from like a money-making standpoint, because that makes barely any money, but from like a saving face standpoint. It was really good for a few days. Like, the first 3 videos I did, they went. Like, ooh, but once everything filled up with hundreds, or I don't know how many people are making content for Battle right now, hundreds, certainly hundreds and hundreds of content creators. Once that started to all roll in, because I don't get a whole lot of viewership from the browse functionality at this point, because of the last 3 years and not uploading very much, etc. I'm relying on search views most of the time. When there's so much competition, those search views don't come in. So my traditional content type that has always worked for me, all the analytics are showing that that's probably not going to work for me now. So if I'm going to carry on, or carry on for some amount of time, I've got to work out what I'm going to make. And at the minute, I don't know. And the thought of it makes me feel really, like, uncomfortable and anxious and a bit sick. Like, you're supposed to just tackle each day as it comes, obviously, but when I think about the next year or 2 years or 3 years, granted, I can only look at it right now with things being bad, so I'm looking at it through those glasses, but the idea terrifies me, man. Because I don't have the freedom to upload what I'm seeing a lot of people upload and know that it will do okay. Because of their I mean, they deserve it because of where they've managed to get to. Like, I don't hold it against anyone. You know, it's a position that I wish I was in. But, dude, I just don't know what I'm gonna make. And it didn't really matter before with the videos because the stream was doing all right. So although the video content made me feel bad, the stream income was there, so it was sustainable. But with that just not being there now, I don't really have anything to rely upon, which is kind of crazy for the position that I've got to. But again, that doesn't matter. You can be like, oh, no way, that shouldn't be that way, or who would have thought, right? Like, it doesn't matter. The reasons don't matter. Like, they don't matter to me anymore, and they shouldn't matter to you guys. Like, they're all just excuses. The excuses hold no place in this discussion anymore. We've done excuses for so many years. You know, BF5 was bad, BF 2042 was awful, BF6 is too crowded creators right now, blah, blah, blah. It doesn't matter. It doesn't really count for anything, you know. So I don't really know what I'm gonna do. I'm giving it some more time. Like, I'm not quitting right now. Like, I'm, as I said at the start, I'm not even saying I am quitting. But I'm saying that I'm getting closer. I'm gonna give it time to be alright, because it's not early for me, but it's early for BF6, so maybe I'll stumble across what will work. And if I do, then awesome. And maybe the last 2 videos just coincidentally just aren't, you know, desirable at this point, even though they used to be. And maybe the 4 or 5 I did before that are mediocre at the minute in terms of what people are looking for, and that's just coincidental. Like, I don't believe that's the case, but I can't tell you that it's 100% not. So there's always a chance that it works out fine. But I definitely don't really believe it at this point. And some of you guys might, and that's awesome. You have a lot of faith in me and what I do. Some of you. That's amazing. But I don't really believe it at this point. So I felt it fair to come and talk to you guys. Especially as I said, I would do some face cam stuff. I thought it fair to come and talk to you and make my feelings known. But yeah, I'm not really sure. I know that I know I've got Ariosto coming back in about a month's time, apparently. But a lot of you guys also know I've never been comfortable with that. I would never want... He's my biggest supporter, for anyone that doesn't know. He basically was a huge part of me continuing with content during BF 2042 with his support. But I wouldn't want him to like feel any pressure to come back and support the way that he did before. He could come back and never support again, and I would respect him and like him just the same. And it's also just completely unreasonable for me at this point to be relying upon an individual or a few individuals, as I've said so many times. I really hate that circumstance. But yeah, with him coming back, maybe things even out from a sustainability standpoint. My concern is that maybe that happens, if it does, and I still feel bad. But I'm not sure. I was talking to Emily about it this morning. The problem might not just be content, or YouTube, or whatever, or the numbers. Like, I'm not sure if something is gonna make me happy, which is kind of sad. Obviously, it's not a feel-good moment. Yeah, like I'm not sure. I've definitely been happy in my life in periods, but not consistently. So it might not be just that. This isn't helping, obviously. Like this is definitely not helping. Like the whole content thing has been making me feel bad for quite a long time. But the concept in my mind that I just do something else and suddenly I'm happy is not necessarily realistic. So I don't know. I'm very keen to not make a mistake. I don't want a mistake pushing this for too long if it's, if the signs are there that it's dying off and that I've had my time. I also don't want to make this mistake of dropping it and having been wrong and give up what is an opportunity that I know so many people would like to have. And doing something else and then not being happy anyway. Unfortunately, I don't have a crystal ball. So I don't have the answer. And I'm not sure what's going to bring me to the answer, or if it's possible for me to get to the answer. The variables are that if I keep mixing in different content forms to Battlefield, like say maybe I find the thing, or maybe I hit a wave and I can then ride that again like I used to. Because I used to just upload pretty much whatever I wanted on Battlefield and it did well, because algorithm, etc. So maybe that happens, but I no longer assume those things. And I see what you're saying. I've seen a few comments about it. Like, it is early. I know it's early, which is why I'm not right now saying, hey, I'm done, I'm going. Like, that's not the case. But I've been toying with the idea of giving myself until my birthday, which is about 5-6 months away or whatever, which means at that point, I will have given BF6 about half a year. I can't tell you 100% that I'm going to get to that point. But that's currently what I'm thinking about. If we do the 5 or 6 months, and then I assess then. To me, that seems logical and sensible. But I'm finding that I am changing my thinking every hour, every minute, every week, etc. So I'm trying to convince myself to wait, like a good chunk of time. It's just difficult to wait that amount of time and have each day be so sort of soul-crushingly difficult after having waited so long for this moment. I've seen some of the suggestions that have been made. In terms of working with other streamers and whatnot. Yeah. But I've talked about this a bit on previous streams. I'm just not going to go and ask other streamers I know to basically save it for me. I'm just not going to do it. And I know that might sound like shooting yourself in the foot because of pride or because of not wanting to put pressure on people. Either way, I'm just not that person. And it does feel very isolating, because a lot of the people that I know, they do a lot of stuff together, and they know each other personally a lot better than they know me and I know them. Like, I'm the new guy that basically keeps himself to himself. But it is quite difficult seeing them all do whatever they want and do it with each other and bash out views on everything, and they deserve it. Like, don't get me wrong, they deserve it, but it's quite an isolating feeling. And it's also quite isolating that I do all this on my own. Like, I talked about this the other day. I'm pretty much doing the work of a full team at this point, with all the streams, the videos, the shorts, the multiple platforms, you know, thumbnails, scripts, editing, game capture, all of it. And when you're doing the work of what is, for some people, a full team every day, and not only are you not making the income of a full team, but you're no longer making the income of an individual. I probably don't have to explain why that's difficult. Bear with me, I can sort that out. Alright. I could deal with him and ignore him when he was just having a go at me, because it's whatever. This is their moment this is the moment where the naysayers can, you know, take their kicks at me and revel in the moment. I get that. But he's not going to sit and do it to people in the chat, so you won't be able to see what he says anymore. So that's where we are. Not the end, but I'm trying to decide it. Excuse me. Need a drink. I can't have a drink, can I? It's the frickin'. I'm trying to decide if it's the beginning of the end. And like, I've had a good run. You know, 9 years is a lot longer than most people get as a content creator. You know, I don't really have the right to complain. I mean, it's not a complaint anyway, but in terms of the length of time I've done this for, I've had it a lot longer than the average. I just would like it to be longer than this, you know, but I want it to be longer than this without it being so mentally destructive. What I'm confused about though, I thought your channel was seeing a good boost since BF6 and then it's getting better. Sure, I don't come to every stream, stay long, don't see the whole thing. But I assumed it was getting better also considering the growth in subs. Yeah, it was initial. It was... I have to sort of temper all this by saying it's only been 2 weeks. It's only been 2 weeks. But, in terms of answering your question, the initial boost for 2 or 3 days was great. But it was pretty much all from search views. Whatever I've put out since then, and as so much stuff has flooded the platform, it's not possible to consistently rank highly in the searches now. And I don't really get my views from browsing. So, analytically, since that first couple of days, things have actually been really bad. Like, unfortunately, that they have. And if you go and look at the last 2 videos, they are 2 of my worst performing videos that I remember. And there would be an argument for they're both the same kind of video. Maybe weaponless videos, there's just too many of them. Maybe I'm too late to it because it's 2 weeks in. Which is all very reasonable and might be the case. But also, there's the idea of looking at it of, dude, it's 2 weeks in. And this is the struggle. And you can't post, or I can't do content that is based on new players after 2 weeks. That leaves me with a real problem, right? Of, well, how am I gonna do 3 years? Because my kind of content is just now being covered by so many people, and so many of them are doing it so quickly. That's quite a scary position. So, yeah, to reiterate what I said, I'm not stopping as of right now. I'm going to try more things. I'm going to give it more time. But I don't know exactly what that's going to look like, how much of it you're going to get, how that will affect the streams. We're going to have to see. I'm obviously going to be taking sponsorships as and when I can get them, because I like, besides wanting income, like I literally have to do it at this point. It's difficult as well at the moment that I'm turning down, say, three or four. I've already turned down 3 or 4 sponsorships that could have been like really, really lucrative for me and would give me the stability I need. But they're just things that I just don't want to advertise. Not comfortable with it. I don't think it's right to push it to you guys. It doesn't align well with my channel or my affiliation with EA and all that stuff. And it's the right decision, and I stand by it, and I'll keep making that decision for sponsors I just don't agree with. But it's definitely a bit of a sickener, you know, when you're having such a rough time and seeing the income being so low on most days. Dude, it's rough. Yeah, like, I don't regret the decision, but it's hard to swallow when you're turning down hundreds or thousands, you know, when you add it all together. It would obviously give me all the stability I need. That's difficult. That's quite hard. So when you lump all those things together that I've said, just like no reason to pretend really. Like I'm not doing great, man. My days are not good. I'm not going to take that sponsor. No, I'm not going to take that sponsor that you mentioned. I don't agree with it. I don't agree with that kind of business model. Yeah. Difficult. So, yeah, I'll have to experiment a bit. I'll keep showing up. I'll try and do the streams. I'll try and make the streams enjoyable. Because I really do... I do want this to work. I'm just not sure if it's going to work. And if it is, I don't know if I have, like I say, after everything, I don't know if I have the, I don't know if I have the energy and the desire to get through it. But I guess we'll find out together. I'm not necessarily going to do face cam stream every time I stream, by the way. It kind of depends how I feel. I wasn't really keen on doing this today, but, you know, bite the bullet sort of scenario. Don't know. It's hard to know. It's hard to know if I'm jumping the gun. It's hard to know if I've left it too long already. And it's hard to know whether... It's a little hard for me to know whether it's actually bad or whether I just feel like it's bad because of, you know, my brain, my, yeah, how my mind works. Don't know. Hi Ernie, welcome back, mate. Bruh. Anyway, we haven't covered my issues with the game itself, which is not as unenjoyable a conversation, but still not one I'm really going to enjoy. But I'm definitely not. The severity of this really pales in comparison to what I've already talked about. But I'm definitely not enjoying the game as much as I feel like I should be. And I didn't really see it coming. I do think it's a good game. Like, I do. I do think it's a good game, and I do think it's miles ahead of 2042, obviously. Thank you for the membership, Simon. I appreciate it, dude. 44 months. Thank you, bro. Sorry, Tweed. I just wanted to say, it is genuine interaction, mate. You don't have to worry about that. Like, I really do see you guys as, like, actual people, so don't worry about that, mate. I appreciate you tuning in every day. Thank you, Jimmy. But yeah, I'm not feeling the game as much as I thought I would, despite the fact I think it's good. I think it's a long way off the enjoyment I had during the beta. And I don't really understand... Game development is complicated. I know that. I know that especially now with, you know, my involvement over the past 9-10 months now. No, Tweed. No, I don't mean that. I mean, I want you to know that I genuinely, like, see you, dude. Like, I'm genuinely interacting with you. I wouldn't want anyone to think that it's not real and take away from their enjoyment. So I just want to make sure you understand. I appreciate you hanging out. Yeah. I'm definitely not enjoying it as much as I should be, and it's so far below the beta, and I don't really understand how we got to this point with it. I think that... I'm not throwing anyone under the bus, because I do think the devs and everyone I've interacted with at EA or Criterion, DICE, etc. are trying really hard and are doing overall a good job. I just don't understand some of the backward steps that have been taken. Sorry. Jimmy, thank you for the memberships, bro. I really appreciate that. Can we get Jimmy some love in the chat? That's awesome. Thank you very much. And Hemi, thank you for 41 months. Can we get some love in the chat for that? Thank you very much, guys. That's awesome. I've ended up going back to No Man's Sky. I never thought I'd prefer that over a BF title. Yeah. I think this is the stuff that's not really being covered. And isn't really the focus of conversation on a lot of channels and a lot of platforms. But I actually don't think the game is living up to what a lot of people thought and hoped it would at the minute. And I think it has a lot more problems than I perceived it was going to have. I'm a little frustrated with... No, this is an honest conversation. I've said my nice stuff about the game development, etc. So, I'm very frustrated. I'm very frustrated with the lightning fast time to kill and how it doesn't line up with the time to death. I'm very frustrated with netcode issues and only being able to react to what's on your screen, and it turns out the enemy's already killed you, but you didn't have the same perspective as them, so you couldn't win the fight anyway. I'm tired of that stuff. I've been tired of that stuff in Battlefield for a long time. I didn't perceive as having the problem be even worse on this one. I'm tired. I know a lot of this is being fixed, and that's great, but at the minute, I'm tired of the spread and the bloom issues. So I'm tired of when I shoot at someone, or when anyone shoots at someone, you're contending with spread, bloom, netcode, desync, memory leak, hit detection, etc., whatever, all layered. Because to me, the gunfights feel shit now. And when that wasn't the case, the game was fun. I enjoyed the game. And now it's not the case, I don't enjoy the game. And it's a little difficult for me because I want to cover all these things. Like, I know I could go back to just my coverage I used to do, where I basically just talked about the state of the game every few days, good or bad. But that was kind of soul-crushing because so much of it was negative. So that's kind of tricky because I do want to cover the game honestly, and I do want to cover the negatives as well. And I'm kind of incentivized to do so because my lists and stuff are doing poorly because, again, the market's so saturated. But I don't necessarily want to go back to being that creator. And it's awkward for me when I'm part of the program. It's not that I don't want to be honest. I'm being honest now, but I don't want my content to be back built around that. You know, and interacting with these people and saying, hey, I like the bones of the game and I like what you guys are doing and I like where it's heading, but at the same time, I'm angry every time I play it. And my content is expressing my negativity. So it's a really weird, difficult spot to be in. Do you think the patch might help on Tuesday? It might do. I hope so. Do you know what my real concern is with that? Is that whilst spread and bloomer stuff are going to get better, when or if the netcode's going to get better is the real problem. Because I've complained about netcode in Battlefield for years. And I thought the game felt so good in especially week 1 of the beta that I thought we were just past that. And then week 2 of the beta wasn't great, and I was a bit concerned, but I was like, whatever, I'm sure it'll be fixed up for release, because this wasn't the case before, and it's important that it works, so I assume this will be fine. So playing the game now and having the netcode be so seemingly diabolically terrible, on top of the spread and the bloom and the weapon balance and everything, kind of blowing my mind. But I hope it's fast. Another concern for me is console. Playing on console at the minute and turning off crossplay because, not here for an argument about it, regardless of what anyone says, crossplay on Battlefield I don't think is a good time as a controller player. So turning that off, dude, I'm queuing for some modes and some rounds for a while. And we're backfilling with bots a lot. And I know there's people playing, but the matchmaking system has, because there's no persistent servers, and I get why, like I said before, as long as it works, I'll be okay with it. But with no persistent servers, and it just switching different lobbies all the time, and that gave us the functionality of the custom search and whatever, which is cool if it works, but regardless, with it switching lobbies all the time, it's starting so many games, but so many of those games have so many different people going into them, so the community aren't filling the lobbies. They're being split up all over the place, and then it's taking ages for the games to start, and then we're playing the bots, and then the deeper you go into the night, especially with crossplay off. I've seen complaints about this with crossplay on from some people, but especially with crossplay off, it just gets worse. And we're in week 2. So how's it going to be in year 2? Am I going to be sitting with crossplay on, lamenting disparity between mouse and keyboard and controller? Is it going to be the same as like 2042 issues? Are we going to be queuing for ages regardless? Like, I'm a bit baffled no one's talking about that. Personally. And I'm worried about that at this point. If something doesn't change with the matchmaking system. I don't see how, as a console player, you couldn't be worried about that. And it probably warrants a video. Another part of my issue is a lot of the things that warrant a video right now that might actually get views are me talking about problems with the game. Like negative content. I don't want to sit and just do negative content. But honesty, it kind of requires it. And it's going to give people the impression that I think the game is bad. And I truly want to stress, I don't think the game is bad. But I think it's being made to appear bad in a lot of circumstances. Because of netcode, desync, matchmaking issues, etc. that I've mentioned. All the portal problems. All the portal issues, man. What are we doing with the portal, bro? I had faith that mistakes were learned from 2042 with the portal. I'm not seeing where the lessons were learned right now. And again, I really like everyone I've interacted with as part of the program with Battlefield. This is no hate to any individual. I know a lot of people working very hard. And I must stress again, I do like the game at its core. But I am not seeing where the lessons were learned with things like the portal. And things like aim assist issues and controller inputs and matchmaking and crossplay and how we handle XP. I just genuinely don't see where the lessons were learnt with that, because the evidence to me right now indicates that lessons weren't learnt with that. And I ideally want them to have been learnt, because I'd be having more fun. And a lot of you guys would be having more fun. And the game would do better. Like, the game's doing great, but if the game was not having these problems, the game would do even better, especially in the long term. So I'm just outrageously frustrated, not just from a content creator perspective, because it's so much harder than I thought it was going to be, and it's not been the boost that I thought it'd be. For me, I must state, for a lot of people it is. A lot of people are killing it on the platform, and then getting their reward for uploading regularly for the last 3 years, whereas I didn't. Like, I don't necessarily deserve the boost that they're getting. I fully understand that. But aside from me not getting the boost content-wise that I was hoping for, and therefore income is rough, to put it mildly, I'm just frustrated with the game. And if I was having more fun playing it, it would ease things at least a little bit. And my streams wouldn't be so short if I was having fun consistently. Because I don't like going from a lobby where it feels like my damage lands and I kill everybody, to a lobby where a guy that's not looking at me kills me. And an AR lands 4 bullets on me in a split second, apparently. and someone misses me with their shotgun, but the damage lands, or the game suddenly decides to tell me that I took damage, so I'm dead, like... I know I'm not the only one. I know a lot of people are sick of that stuff now. It's frustrating. It's very, very frustrating. Because as I have covered, when the game works, I have a good time. You can see in the gameplay, there are games where it goes relatively well. I mean, there's problems, but it goes relatively well, and it's relatively fun. But I just have too many rounds where I feel like I'm fighting in a haze. I'm fighting a different version of events to, you know, the people I'm fighting against. I'm pulling the trigger hoping that Bloom doesn't do me dirty, that the bullets don't hit South Africa rather than the guy in front of me. And hoping that the hit detection will work and that the netcode's not screwing up. And I've had a lot of you guys in the chat tell me over the past couple of weeks that you're sick of that. You're frustrated with it. And we're so early on in the game. I think I've said this quite a lot on stream. I think this is an 8 or 9 out of 10 product as far as Battlefield goes. Being made to look like a 5 or a 6. Which is really bad, man. Like, you've got a potential home run on your hands, and it's, as I say, sales-wise done very well so far. I'm sure it's making a lot of money. But you've got like an absolute home run on your hands with this game. If you just get that stuff sorted, the stuff that people are expecting to be sorted, they're expecting it to work. Like, you can tell me if I'm being unreasonable. Right? I'm struggling to excuse, and there's always problems. It's difficult to do. I'm struggling to excuse the amount of issues that weren't present before. I don't think it's reasonable to still have netcode issues like this. I just don't. I think it's Battlefield's biggest problem. And I think it should be front and center the thing to fix. The gunfights have to be reliable. As you see, the gunfights have to be reliable in a first-person shooter. That has to be priority number 1. The guns have to shoot where you aim. I'm not saying no spread. I understand spread and bloom is necessary, at least if that's the way you're building your game in terms of weapon balance. But the way it is right now, granted, I know some of it is bugged. But we didn't have these bugs on a previous build. So it's really hard for me to excuse the game coming out with these spread issues, with these netcode issues, and making people like me, all the way down to people that are pulling a 0.3 KD or whatever, which is no problem, enjoy the game, however, I don't care. It's a product. Do what you want. Doesn't matter how you play. But if it's going all the way through the range of players, saying, I don't feel like my bullets work half the time, or it feels like I die way faster than I kill people sometimes. When I've been talking about this issue for years now, BF1, BF5, whatever, especially where ping is concerned, I'm struggling to get on board with that, man. I really am. I'm really struggling to get on board with that at this point. And I imagine a lot of people feel the same way. So these fixes have to come fast. Really fast. And there are exciting things to come for this, obviously. I do think this game will probably do well. But it should be doing better than it is right now in terms of just performance. And the UI... I'm trying not to just whinge, because this is more video stuff, really. I can cover individual topics in videos and make it more concise and focused. I don't want to just sit here and complain. And I've said a lot of times, I do like the bones of this game. That's why I'm so frustrated. The UI. What are we doing? I don't get it. I don't get it. The settings menu. It's no wonder that settings guide videos are getting so many views. And this, dude. I'm trying not to drop anyone in it and say anything that, you know, shouldn't be shared. But this problem was raised months ago with the settings menus. And just the UI in general, like the home screen for this game. Dude, how many of you guys have tried to use the portal stuff and have just been confused? I know I have been. It was difficult for me to work out what was what, and what I was supposed to go into and what I wasn't supposed to go into, and what I was getting into, and how to do your own server. And then there's host and host locally, and how it all functions. And now we've changed how the XP all works in there because of the XP farming and everything. It's just a mess, man. The UI in this game is a mess. And it's the first thing that people see. Also, I know I'm getting at every little thing I can think of. Why on the main screen are we calling Portal Community? I think it's labeled as. You've got your tabs down the side, right? Of which laid out ridiculously, and then you got all your tiles which don't fit for a game like this anyway. The one for Portal is called Community. Why is it called Community? Why are we not calling it Portal? When we've called this thing Portal for years, you're now calling it Community, and when we get there, it's not immediately evident what's available, how to use it, how to use your own server, etc. Like, I wanted, if anyone saw the video yesterday, which a lot of people didn't because it's bombing, which is part of the problem I'm talking about today, but if anyone saw the video yesterday, to get the kills for the sidearm, I wanted to shoot bots, which I said in the video. I made it very clear. I didn't want to go and play against real players on this game with a fucking P18 pistol. I don't hate my life enough yet for that. I was trying to play bots, dude, and I was joining bot lobbies. And they just weren't what they were supposed to be, or I couldn't find the bots in there, or it wasn't just bot. You would be placed against other human players, not just against bots, or I would spawn in as on the bot team and be shot instantly. So I was like, oh my god, okay, I'll try and make my own. And then I eventually found how to do that, and it's not as easy as it should be. And I actually miss, I've been seeing people talk about this on Reddit, I actually miss from 2042 the opportunity to just load up a game with just bots. You know, you used to have it on 2042, those of you that have played it. You would have Conquest or Conquest versus bots, right? Solo/co-op. So if I wanted to just go and test something, I could just use that. I didn't have to go and navigate through the mess of the UI in the portal, overrun with all these servers that we're trying to get rid of and getting rid of XP because of it, and bot filling and backfilling and whatever. But rather than having to go and navigate through that mess, it could just go and do that. And then I'll be able to go in that lobby for 3 minutes to test the thing I want and leave.
Our forces are hitting Alpha.
I'm irritated by the backward steps that I didn't foresee us taking. This game is miles better than 2042. Absolutely miles better. But it has some hangovers from that game that I just didn't see coming. Based on my experience on previous builds of the game, I didn't think were going to be the case now that it's here. Other than the UI mess, which I thought would be changed, but whatever. So when you add that all together, that I'm having a rougher time with the game than I thought I would have. Like, I'm enjoying it, but not enough at the minute. Combined with I'm seeing a lot of other people, potential viewers, saying they're not enjoying it as much as they think they should be. And credit to Basketball Studios for how much they're listing and how much they're trying to fix, by the way. I definitely give credit for that. But in terms of right now, with me not enjoying it as much as I should be, a lot of you guys not enjoying it as much as it should be, and my style of content just being lost on YouTube right now because the platform is so saturated with my kind of content, I'm struggling to convince myself that I am making the right decision continuing. Which is not something I imagined saying 2 weeks into BF6. And probably a lot of you guys didn't envisage me saying that. And some of you maybe didn't think you'd be feeling the way you do feel about the game. Like, let me ask you a question. You can put yes or no in the chat. Put yes in the chat if you didn't expect to have as many problems with the game as you do have. And put no in the chat if it's fine and you're happy, all good, no issues, or, you know, only small issues. And just answer honestly, and just answer once for yourself, just one time. Just give me your feedback. And I'll read them off. Yes, yeah. Jesus. Yes, 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 no, yes, yes, no. You thought there were going to be more issues. I mean, that's good. No, but I expected it to be more, it's kind of a mixed bag on that one. Yes. Then some other comments about things. Basically, I'm not alone in these feelings. And it doesn't really matter because everyone's, in terms of right now, everyone's perspective is different. It's not really about I'm not enjoying it as much as I should be, you're not, etc. My problem with it is that if there is this growing feeling of frustration and lower levels of enjoyment than there should be, it's really important they get on top of that quickly, because if it continues to fester and spreads, we're going to have a problem that we didn't really see coming. Because at the minute, there's a huge amount of positivity around the game despite the complaints that are out there. And no one's going to be resting on their laurels, working on the game or anything like that. But there could be unforeseen levels of dissatisfaction on the way if things don't get fixed up quickly. Because you don't want to see players going through fatigue with the game after 2 weeks. And with these TTK issues and TTD issues or whatever, and netcode and spread, etc., I'm seeing a lot of people saying, dude, I play an hour or two and I'm just done. Not great. It's not everyone. There's a lot of people that are happy, of course. I would say probably the majority of players are happy. And that's a good thing. I'm just concerned it's not going to stay that way if we don't get a handle on things soon. I didn't update the percentage, by the way, sorry. This is part of my issue as well, from a content creation perspective. Like, if the video stuff isn't hitting, I can't rely on the stream for the income, because it's unreasonable to do so. Like, you know, you can't expect to be pulling a living wage from the stream each day when things are the way they are at the minute for my channel. It's just, it's difficult, man. Which is not, to be clear, nothing against you guys at all. Watch for free every day if you want. I'm happy you tune in. There's no ill feeling in that regard. It's just, when you add all these things together, from my perspective, there's not a whole lot pointing towards me making the right decision, stubbornly just going and assuming it's going to be all right. Nate, for your question, I've lost track of what is publicly available information and what isn't. So I will let people in the chat respond to that. I'm lost on that stuff now. I have no idea what is and isn't publicly available. How come everything's okay in labs and then wrong when released? So it's kind of a mixture. BF Labs had problems, obviously. And a lot of problems were fixed up and improved. The main issue I have with that is that we got to the beta and we have problems now that weren't in the beta. I don't know. I understand you can, when you change things when you're coding a game, there can be knock-on effects that you don't see come in, because it's very complicated. So I assume that's how we got the spread or bloom bug and all that sort of stuff that is making gunfights, or partially making gunfights feel really weird. But how we ended up with how the game feels right now with the culmination of all the issues compared with the beta, I don't know. Like, I don't know why the aim assist on controller was changed from the beta. That's one I can't get my head around. I don't have the answer for that one. That's the sort of thing that just baffles me. Because I can tell you that one of the things that we gave the game a lot of credit for, as content creators, was that it felt good. The gunfights felt good. The weapons felt good. Aiming felt good, etc. How we ended up with the decision to change the aim assist for the full release and run into the same issues we had, or some of the same issues we had on 2042 for a long time, couldn't give you an answer. Couldn't give you an answer. Absolutely no idea.
I need a fucking medic!
So I'm equally confused about some of it. The beta had reduced bloom too. Yeah, so the reason why I'm not super actively criticizing the bloom, although it is part of the problem, is I don't know how much of that was poor decision making and how much of it was just unintended via introducing bugs. So because I don't know that information, I can't be too critical. But it is very frustrating that, yeah, we have that problem as well that wasn't in the beta. But I'm not as critical for that one because I can see how that can happen accidentally. But I can't explain why the aim assist was changed. And if you had a controller player that knows how to play an FPS game, playing on that aim assist, they go, this isn't good, this doesn't feel good, this is bad. Because some of us content creators, once that build dropped and was playable, we were like, excuse me? Like, why is this like this now? I don't know, Jack. I can't speculate on that. What I can say is if it was changed to rope in the Call of Duty crowd, then they got it wrong. Because it doesn't feel like overpowered Call of Duty aim assist anyway. It actively makes you worse, this aim assist. Like when the official advice from a multitude of content creators is, hey, turn down your aim assist slowdown so you aim better. that tells you everything you need to know about the aim assist. When you're literally turning down the aim assist so you can hit the target, clearly something got screwed up, or they just did a bad job implementing it. And as someone that raised issues with the aim assist prior to actual, release to the public, yeah, I'm fucking annoyed that we're 2 weeks in and it still feels like trash. Unless you turn it down. I don't know why that's jumping about. Unless you turn it down. And then you've just got less aim assist to use. Like, no idea. No idea, mate. You can do live streams face cam now. Sometimes I owed trying this because of a massive dono reward from pre-BF6. So I was always going to do it. I'm not very comfortable doing it, to be honest. But I owed it, and it was my choice to add it as a reward. If you want the explanation, this kind of... Oh, shoot. This dives into a bit more about my current issues with Battlefield and content and whether I'm going to carry on or not. I'm not really a fan of Facecam, hence me not doing it for the past 5-6 years, I think was when I last did it. Just a long time. Because like at the reveal event, you might notice that I was there, but I wasn't featured because I didn't want to be on camera. Which now makes this seem really stupid. But I didn't want to be on camera. But I put it in as a reward for a massive donation day because I needed something to offer for that donation goal. Now you might be like, why did you offer it then? I didn't think that donation goal would be hit. But if it was going to be hit, I needed something suitable for the size of the support. I also needed to have something of that size available, donation-wise. This is a thing I don't think I've really gone into before. Not out of greed. I'm not actually trying on a daily basis to earn hundreds or thousands of pounds. Which might sound really confusing. Obviously, if I get that, super happy. But that's not what I'm trying to actively achieve out of greed and just having a shitload of money. The reason why those big dono goals are available is because of my anxiety about how all this works. For me and for content. So if I have days where I can make a lot of money, it evens out the days where I don't make money, which is the really sad reality of it. And I've been worried for so long about all those days where I don't really get. I mean, I'm pussyfooting around it. The days where I just don't earn, basically. I have to have days that make up for it. And I think pre-BF6, people might have thought that's a lie, right? They'd be like, no, you're clearly just being greedy. It come BF6, it's gonna be fine. This is just greed. Now when I explain it, I think people get it. They go, oh, I kind of see why that's the thing now. Because I am really worried now, man. I am really, really worried now. Like, I know that it's quite likely that I will work all day tomorrow and not really have anything to show for it by the end of the day, which I'm experiencing a lot now. And I have to be very careful when I talk about this stuff because I don't want it to seem like I am blaming anyone, because that's the furthest thing from what I'm trying to achieve here. Because if I didn't have... I mean, I wouldn't even be doing this now if it weren't for people like yourselves anyway. There's never any blame, there's never any expectation, never has been any expectation from any individual to provide anything specific. Purely from a business perspective, I have to have income, or at least a reason to believe there's going to be income at a certain point. I think that's probably quite reasonable and understandable. I don't have that belief now that that is likely. And I wish I did. I wish I did, because I would feel a whole lot better right now if I did. Like, I would just be a happier person. But I don't have that belief now. I've lost faith in the support that I can garner and my ability to be successful on the platform. I just don't know if I have it anymore. And coming to that realization over the last few days has been very rough. As I said earlier, this is not some doom and gloom pity me thing. I think as a content creator on average, I'm good enough. I think in a vast array of circumstances, I could be successful. I don't think, as I said earlier, don't necessarily think I'm good enough for this situation. Like, this is a really hard one. With how things have gone and how things are now, this is a really, really tough one. And I just might not be good enough to beat this one. Which sucks, man. It sucks. It extra sucks. A lot of you guys won't have been here when I talked about this earlier, so I'll cover it very quickly now. It extra sucks when you're good enough to pull millions of views. I've pulled about 8 million views in the past 28 days. I said earlier, sorry anyone that heard this earlier. I've pulled about 8 million views in the past 28 days across all my platforms. But most of that isn't monetized because Facebook don't have me in their monetization program. Don't get anything from Instagram. I don't get anything from TikTok. YouTube is where the money is for me, and YouTube is where I'm struggling. Difficult one to get your head around, being that quote-unquote successful and earning not earning from it, basically. Like, that's a mind bender, right? How can you get 8 million views in a month and not really be earning particularly well? But that's where I'm at. That's where I'm at. which is no one's fault. It's just that's how it is. And you probably understand how hard it is to get your head around that, right? I would imagine you would probably, in my situation, be like, looks like I'm successful, but I'm not being successful. So then how do you make a decision moving forwards? And I don't have the answer to that yet. I still don't. I don't know when I'll have the answer. I don't know how to come to the conclusion as to what to do. No, I really don't. I have no idea. And if the game doesn't pick up in terms of my enjoyment, doubly difficult. Because, to really simplify what I spent ages saying before, I like the game. I think the game is fun. I don't like where it's at right now, and therefore I don't enjoy it anywhere near as much as I could be enjoying it. If the game was fun as fuck, and I wasn't pressuring myself to get shorts out every day and video every couple of days or whatever, like, if the game was super fun, and I was just going to stream, and I was having an amazing time doing it, I just get up in the morning, stream until I'm bored. But that's not where it is for me. Like, there's the content stuff, obviously, but there's also that after an hour or two, I'm just kind of done at the moment. I'm kind of done with being beamed in a split second. You know? I'm kind of done with the bullets doing this. I want to shoot that guy. No, we're going over the... over there. Fucking Narnia. Like... Ugh. Yeah, man. It's rough. They talk to your management team. Yeah. Thing is, they can't really do anything about it. I already do YouTube shorts, GBG dude. I already do. I have a YouTube short out right now that has 1.2 million views. The problem is that shorts don't really make much money. So that 1.2 million view short earned me £120. Which some of you guys know, some of you will have no concept of the fact that shorts don't really make money. Which is not a complaint, by the way. Like, I get that shorts won't make the money that videos make. The ads are set up differently, they're very short piece of content. It makes sense. But yeah, like, shorts I do for exposure on YouTube, not for income. Because there's almost no income for them. Thank you, Johnny. I appreciate it, mate. Can we get Johnny still in the chat for 72 months of membership? Thank you, bro. I really appreciate that, mate. Thank you very much. Do the companies like Facebook, YouTube, TikTok even have to spend money to make money off you? No. Nope. So I pulled... Oh, let me find it. Trying to work out if I can show you this without giving you any information I don't want to share. Yeah, I think I can show you this. Let me try and get that in the shot. Can you guys see that at all? I don't know if that's readable. I don't know if that's readable. If it wasn't readable, it shows that on Facebook in the last 28 days, I've had 4.9 million views. And $0. Because I'm not in the monetization program. I don't know why it's struggling to play that right now. Bear with me. Maybe because it's just such a long video. It'll clear up. Give it a minute. There you go. I'm not in the monetization program on Facebook. So those 4.9 million views across posts and images and short form content and whatever are just worth zero income to me. In terms of how to get into the monetization program, they don't give you a defined way now. They just invite you or they don't. So Yeah. I'm just pumping. It's difficult for me, that one, because I don't have anyone to be mad at. But I am pulling millions of views for Facebook and millions of views for Battlefield over there and getting zero reward for it. Whereas on YouTube, I'm putting out all this stuff and it's not doing so great, and so I'm not really making money from it. And this does just sound like a long woe is me thing, and I don't want it to be that. I'm just trying to explain why I'm at where I'm at right now with my my thinking about the future. But that's pretty rough. And that probably makes sense now what I was talking about. When there are so many things telling you you're being successful, but then where it matters, you're being very firmly told that you're not being successful. That is difficult. That is difficult to take on a daily basis and to keep doing the work. And to not just say, I can't do this. You know, I quit. It's making me feel too bad. Because it does. Like, I do, unfortunately, feel very bad. A lot of the time. Probably more than anyone really realizes. Because I do the stream and I try and be positive, and in the videos it doesn't show through. I am genuinely very unhappy most of the time. And a large part of that is, you know, this. A large part of that is this. The caveat being, as I covered a little earlier, I don't know if it's entirely this, because I don't think I've ever been truly happy for a long expanse of time. So if I attribute it just to this and then I do something else and I'm like, oh shit, you're still really unhappy and now you don't have that thing that you were passionate about. Makes it a very hard decision to make. But I know that it can't go on like this for too long. Because it will I'll just struggle too much. Like, I know I've got to be very careful. I've spoken to Emily about it, and she is pretty convinced at this point that if I carry on like this for too long, then it's just gonna cause a mental break, essentially. And I don't disagree. Like, I don't want to seem dramatic, but I am potentially leading myself to a fall at the moment, like mentally. If I just very stubbornly carry on with the struggle, and it doesn't go to where I want it to go, or doesn't get there in time, and then just, you know, the switch flicks, basically. And if that switch flicks, I don't know how long it will take to correct it, or if I'll, you know, be able to. And that's scary, man. That's really scary. Really, really scary. And it's very sobering to realize that. Especially sobering to realize that when you're talking about a video game, because it's just, I think for a lot of people watching, it's Battlefield, right? Battlefield. Just talk about Battlefield stuff. Because to a lot of you guys, that's all it is, and that makes sense. You know, it's a video game. And you play it and you consume content on it. But it stopped being just Battlefield for me so long ago now. Like, this is my daily existence.
Fuck, I'm bleeding out! Medic!
So, yeah. I just don't really know where we go from here. Me, as a community, content, any of it. It probably would have helped if I had the answers to come and do this stream, but I just don't have them yet. And because I don't know if and when I'll have the answers, if I didn't come and do this, I don't know when I'd come and do this. And you guys would never get the insight. And you guys wouldn't get the warning that things might change, whether it's the amount of content or what the content is, or whether the content even exists at all. Would you play any other games? I don't know. I'm so tired. I'm so tired. I don't really have the mental capacity to consider a switch right now. I know that doing a switch would be ungodly difficult. I also know I don't really want to have to. I know Battlefield. I like Battlefield. Everyone knows me for Battlefield. I think it would be very different right now if there weren't hundreds of new creators making content for Battlefield, and I didn't factor that into my considerations. And I'm not sure if I should have done or not. I don't know if I should have seen that coming, but I definitely didn't. I thought that Battlefield 6 would arrive, and I would go back to making my style of content and uploading it regularly, as I have been, and things would be like they were before, or better, hopefully. I didn't know if it was going to fix all my problems. I told people that I won't necessarily have everything just work out. But I thought there would be the opportunity, at least for a while, to, you know, get things towards where they need to be and where it feels like they should have been for a long time. The reality of there being all these content creators that aren't traditionally from Battlefield, they're from Call of Duty, Apex, all the things I said earlier. The market is just so crowded, and whereas before I was one of very few people making my style of content, at least to the quality that I like to think I'm making it at, that is not the case right now. And being less established than a lot of those guys because of my upload habits or lack of upload habits over the last 3 years, it feels like I've lost my spot, is probably the way to summarize it. It feels like I've been pushed out. Not in a vindictive fashion. Everyone's welcome to make whatever content they want. And if they're good at it, amazing. And if they're not good at it and they just get views anyway, then, you know, more power to them. But it feels like I've been pushed out and I don't know if I have a relevant place anymore. And I don't know what to do about that. And I'm trying to work out if I'm not going to do my content that I have always done because the market's too saturated, what can I do that might work? Is it this? Is it me just talking about stuff in Battlefield whilst having this personal connection on camera, like if I get more comfortable with it? Is it covering the news for Battlefield and trying to compete with Ghost Gaming and whoever else? Will having Facecam help with the stream viewership and therefore stream support? I don't know. I would like all of those things to be true, but I'm not going to allow myself to assume that it's going to be the case. Because if I had assumed that everything was going to be alright with BF6, when a lot of people thought it would be, I'd be in an even worse mental spot now. Yeah. When Black Ops 7 comes out and all that stuff, Will a lot of the creators go over and do that instead, especially if their interest in them is drying up on Battlefield? Probably. How much of a difference that will make for me is unknown, undefinable right now. I can tell you it's a lot easier to do this than the normal stream. As much as I don't really like being on camera, at least not yet. A lot easier to sit and just chat with you guys and have the footage playing, or whatever it would be that we're talking about for Battlefield that day. Kind of difficult to monetize that though, as I'm sure you can imagine. Hey, guys, why don't you pay me for me talking, which you would just get anyway? Like, that's a hard sell. For anyone. Yeah, dude. I guess if I was monetized on Facebook, it would be less of a problem. Because, you know, thing number one when you're self-employed is you have to make money somehow. If I was getting income from another revenue source, maybe I would not feel this way right now. But it doesn't really matter, because that's not the case. I think covering news and patch notes is a good idea. I think I'd rather watch a YouTuber that I like to see, but now I have to... I'm glad you didn't say the name. Yep. Multiple game things I've been saying for years. Yeah, I know, it's just... I just promise you it's not that easy with the variety thing. I might have a look at Art Raiders. I don't want to promise anything. Like I say, I'm just not very stable at the minute, so I'm changing my mind on things constantly as it is. So I don't want to say I'll stream Arc Raiders and I'll make videos in Arc Raiders, because I don't know if I will. But we'll see. Looks like you need 10k Facebook followers. So that is actually changed and they've just not updated all their information. Thank you for looking. Used to be, if you got 10,000 followers on Facebook and you were pulling a certain amount of views or interactions or whatever, they'd bring you into the program. Which would mean I'm only 20% of the way there, because I'm only at 2k followers, even though I'm getting millions of views. But at least I would have something to aim for. But it has changed. Now they don't have a defined reason why they bring people in. They just want you to be getting lots of views and interactions and whatever. It can maybe help if you get over 10,000 followers or whatever, but it's no longer a hard rule, because this is not speculation. I looked it up and then I spoke directly to someone at Meta. Which means I don't have anything to aim for. I'm like... It kind of sucks, because I'm basically at this point, I'm already getting millions of views and over there and lots of interactions and whatever. And I've not yet been included. So it might be I just continue to do that. And it takes a long time, or they never bring me in, which means it's not something I can bank on or focus on too much. It's a difficult one, because it doesn't make sense for me to stop creating for Facebook, because I am getting millions of views on there, and I might get monetized. But at the same time, I will keep making stuff for Facebook and pulling millions of views, with absolutely no guarantee it will pay off, and they might never bring me in. So as ever with me in content creation, there's just always more hurdles. Just the complete flooding of the YouTube scape when it comes to content creators this time. The no definable reason to get monetized on Facebook. The struggle would be a 2042. The struggle would be a 5, etc. At a certain point, the hurdles don't matter. If the hurdles are always there, and you're always finding these hurdles in your way, at a certain point it doesn't matter that there are hurdles. The excuses don't matter, the reasons don't matter. You make it or you don't. And your definition of making it can differ. Some would say I've already made it because I've been professional full-time content creator for years and made however much money. Others would say I've never made it because I've never hit my goal that I have had. 100k subs, basically guaranteed income, not having to worry and be stressed all the time. Depends how you look at it. I'm the latter. That's what I look at it as. I don't feel like I've made it. If I don't make it to that point, I will not be able to see this as anything other than a failure. Despite the reach, the growth, the money, whatever. Yeah, unfortunately, that's just my headspace. That's how I view it. If I don't get there, if I don't get to that figure, and I don't get to that sustainability, and I don't get to that life enjoyment level, I just didn't make it, and I just wasn't good enough to make it, unfortunately. It's a sobering thought. It's not a feel-good message, but it's a very honest, logical one without any fluff. It's probably an important message for everyone to understand to some degree. There comes a point where the excuses and the reasons don't matter. Not that you should be too hard on yourself. I want to be really careful here because I don't want to cause people to think that they're failures. I need to really consider how I'm wording this. I don't know if there's a way I can marry up the two thought processes. I don't know. Maybe the way I think about myself is different to the way I think about other people. I don't want anyone to be too hard on themselves. And of course, hurdles matter and difficulties matter. But I don't feel like I will have done a good job. Unfortunately. Thank you, Jane, sorry. Thank you, Jane. Oh, man. I just really want it to work. I just really want it to work. I want it to be how it was. I just don't want to be suffering every day. It doesn't feel like too much to ask for, but it kind of is. Because the turnaround needed is so monumental. And the YouTube algorithm doesn't owe me anything, and none of you guys owe me anything, so it's like... I'll be really sad to give it up, because this is like my life's dream, and everything I've worked so hard for. And I want to give the plaque to my dad and all that stuff. But I know that I'm so done with waking up every day, rubbing my feet together out of anxiety, for a physical response to anxiety, looking at my phone, being disappointed, looking at everything I have to do that day, finishing my day in the evening and having had another bad one. Like, I'm really tired of that. Whether deserved or undeserved, whether that's just a part of not being good enough or having let things slip too far over the last 3 years, again, doesn't matter. It's just as a person, I'm tired of feeling that way. But I'm pretty scared that I might struggle to go and get another job with my skill set. So it's like... It is quite a difficult headspace to be in. And that's life. you take massive swings, you take massive risks for days, weeks, months, and years at a time, and part of that risk is if it doesn't work out, then you're made to look foolish, you know? And you have to look at yourself in the mirror and deal with it. Tokyo was really good, thank you, Nate. Tokyo was great. That was a week where I actually felt genuinely happy. That was, yeah, Tokyo was awesome. I got to step outside of my life for a week and experience... Oh, dude, it's just sad. It's too sad. It's too sad, man. It's too sad a statement. I enjoyed having a week where life felt good. So it was great, mate. It was really good. Thank you for asking. I'm going again in December, so I hope that's good too. And I hope that I'm in a decent mental position when it gets to that point. Do you guys have any other questions for me? Because I've done this now for nearly 2 hours. And I've probably said the vast majority of what I've got to say.
A donation has been received.
Hope this can help in any way it can.
I haven't responded to like a big, this is not to decry the support from earlier. I really appreciate the support from earlier, obviously. Jimmy. I haven't, oh dude, I'm not good at this, man. When I don't have the camera, I get to hide behind it, you know. I've not responded to a really big donation on camera for so many years. I hope you know how much I appreciate it. Thank you, dude. I don't know what to say. I really appreciate it. Thank you so much. I don't have a way of expressing how much I appreciate it. I don't think anyone really knows. It's been hard, man. Nobody really gets to see how hard it is.
Sir.
Sorry, thank you, Alex. I
A donation
appreciate
has
it, man.
been received.
You have a good day, mate. Thank you, Ernie.
I don't have much, but there is a path forward. You need to be happy and everything.
I appreciate it, mate. I don't let people mention that it's a small amount, Ernie. We gotta kick that out. I'm desperately trying to eradicate that from the community. When you donate,
Sir,
everybody,
a donation has
when you
been
donate,
received.
you're not. You ruined my train of thought.
Don't say anything. Just
I
hope this
realize
can
that
keep you
doesn't
going.
line up with the edge of the screen now. I gotta fix that. I'll do the first one and then I'll do the second one, okay? When we donate to me, it should be for anyone, for any streamer. When you donate to me, no one is allowed to say in their message that it is only a little or that they don't have much or whatever it is. I appreciate all the support regardless. So, thank you, Ernie. I really appreciate it, dude. Ivan, thank you so much. He's told me not to say anything, but like, thank you. That's the first goal of the week, so that's awesome. Thank you. Oh, man. Have you guys ever had... I don't know how to ask this question. You guys ever had something where you just didn't know what decision to make? No matter how much you thought about it? Like, you take the good, you take the bad. It does this. There's good and bad along the way. It fluctuates wildly. There's so many reasons why you want to do this, but there's so many reasons why you don't, and vice versa. It's just... The easy answer is, I just do this until it works, right? Happy days. I've just been so caught off guard by the last couple of videos, but how the videos have gone since the first couple of days. Like I say, I just don't know how to overcome how saturated the Battlefield landscape is right now for my content style. I just don't know how to... I don't know how to make the decision when I lack the self-belief that I can make it work, and I don't want to go through so many more low days, mentally, financially, whatever. But I also don't want to give up on this when I've come so close. And then you get support like this today, and your brain goes, you get all the good chemicals released, and your brain goes, oh, keep going, see, it can work. And then you get to tomorrow and it's bad and you go, oh, that was a one. It's just... Some of you guys will relate to, not directly, but to some degree. It's difficult. Sorry. How am I supposed to say your name? Epicenter? Epicenter? Like an epi... Oh, is it epicenter? Oh, it's just an I. Epicenter. Hello. It is. It is. I don't cover this very often because it's not like a happy thing. And the stream is supposed to be enjoyable for people. But as you brought up the topic for a response, yes, it's very isolating. We're not going to sit and do this on the stream every day, okay? I'm allowing myself a day where I just explain and interact based on everything everyone gives me, because it just sounds like a pity party, and I don't want that to be the case all the way through, okay? But my take on it is that yes, it's very isolating. my day to day, most of the time,
Sir,
is
a donation has been received.
If I could give more, I would. Everyone deserves to have a chance.
I got nothing, man. I appreciate it so much. This is a weird way of, like, directions take this moment, but I want to say it. For those of you watching that are having a hard time and are bouncing back with what I'm expressing about my existence, I don't want you to see that money coming in for me and be like, oh, not that you would, right? But I don't want you to be having a moment where you're connecting with what I'm saying and then see me get money and be like, see, that doesn't my problems aren't just fixed. I don't think I'm wording this very well, but I guess I'm saying everyone's problems are individual, and if you're having a struggle, like, I'm sorry. I'm sorry you're having a rough time. I genuinely mean that. I'm really sorry if you're having a rough time. Life can be very, very testing sometimes. So if you're having a rough one, just know that I see it. I see what you're writing in the chat, and I empathize with your problem, whatever it may be, and I'm sure it's perfectly valid. I'm sure it's perfectly valid, and you have every reason to be having a struggle with whatever it is. I wish, it sounds so hippie, namby-pamby bullshit, but like, those of you that are good people out there, of which sure a lot of you are, I wish you didn't have to struggle if you do. I think when you do struggle, it's shit, but you really get to understand someone else's struggle, and dude, if your mental struggles touch anything like mine, I'm sorry, man, and I hope it picks up for those of you that are having a rough time.
Fuck! I'm bleeding out! Medic!
For as long as I'm doing content for, whether it be a week or a decade, you're welcome anytime to come by. I can't offer you anything else. I can't fix any of your issues particularly. Any of you. But you're just more than welcome to come by anytime you want, and just be a part of this. If it helps you for just a small part of your day, then that's cool. I hope it helps a little bit. Don't know, man. No one gives you a pamphlet for how to traverse life, do they? And some people get more difficult existences than others, and you just have to make your own way through it, however it is you choose to do that. Because there are a lot of problems you come into that no one really prepares you for. Thank you for 88,700 subs, by the way. I've just seen that tick over. Awesome. Thanks so much. I'll update the goal, by the way. I just realized. By the way, I've noticed that the... I couldn't fix this. The alerts line up really well with, like, the bottom of here. But when there's text, the text doesn't line up. And I've not been able to get it so that the text doesn't come up as part of it. I'm going to try and fix it because I like it where it is. But I should ask, if I'm going to do face cam for stuff, does here work? Too big, too small? Should it be lower? Should it be to the right? The right, sorry, you're right. Let me know. I am reading your advice, by the way. Epicenter, Mr. Clarkey, etc. I appreciate your input, everybody. Mike, etc. Thank you. Tom, I didn't say hello. Hello, mate. I think here works. We've got one vote of too small. Do we think it's too small? I'm keen not to cover too much of the gameplay. Like, I feel like the gameplay is so much more important than me. So that's why I've got it the size it is. I'm not sure how other people generally have it in terms of size. Let me know. Let me know. Anyway, sorry. Ivan, Ernie, thank you very much. I really appreciate it. I've said a long time ago, dude, I have this... like this wish that if I were able to be insanely successful and make a boatload of money, I would love to go to other streamers within the space and just sort of make their day, you know. It'd be really nice if I get to that point. You think zoom in and show more of me, less of the room? The reason I've got it there, the minute, I'll show you. So I'm doing this specifically for this stream right now, this here. But if I'm playing in the normal spot, it's here. You see that? Which means if it's zoomed in more, it doesn't work for all the different things. Because it's a wheelie chair, and I come here to read this, and then I'm here to play, and then I look at this one, and that's why it's not zoomed in more, because I thought I would get that response. And I think that when I'm in one position, having it zoomed in more would be better. But having it zoomed in more means that it just doesn't work for... Because something I really don't like... Something I don't like is... If I watch some people stream... some of you might know Soju, probably not, but some of you might know Soju, that does TFT. Bro, he'll be playing, and he's like friggin'... He slumps in his seat and he's like, here. I just fucking... I hate it, mate. I hate it. I hate it. I want the streamer... If the streamer's gonna have a face cam, they should be in the shot. Anyway, that's my explanation for that. Yeah, it's like a desk chair, sorry. So it's got wheels on it. Bro, the glare from the screen makes me look even whiter than I actually am. Jesus Christ. Stay there, dude. Fuck. This is the first time I've seen... Yeah, so I haven't done face cam for... What did I say earlier? 5 or 6 years? Something like that. And I looked very different when I did it before. This is nothing like what I used to look like, so... Yeah, it's the first time a lot of you guys have actually seen me in person. Obviously, there's the mask, because I don't want to be completely recognizable. But I hope this helps to have more of a personal connection. I hope. I think it's something I'll become more comfortable with. I'm not that comfortable with it at the minute, because I never intended to go back to facecam, but I assume I'll get used to it again. And if it helps with the interaction and just causing people to, you know, be interested in the stream, I guess that's a good thing. It will help the YouTube short stream, I imagine, because I think a lot of people just scroll by because there's no face cam. Yeah, I didn't have anywhere near this many tattoos when I streamed before. I'm trying to think. I had almost nothing when I streamed before. I had maybe two, I think, at that point. I think. Of course, see the mannerisms while speaking. I think it helps to have a connection, yeah. Also, is this alright? We think it's okay. I wanted it to... The room's not finished as such, but I wanted it to look decent if I was going to do face cam. I don't know if you can tell. This is all the Battlefield stuff back here. Do you want to see something? I'll show you something if you like. Oh. These are the GetGoodGuy Nikes that we got made. I've only shown them on my like little Instagram. So if anyone wants to buy these for $10,000, let me know. But they're the only ones in the world, so if you fancy it. I'm joking, of course. Well, I don't know. If you offer me 10k, I might give them to you, but... Anyway, that's all the Battlefield stuff back there. There's the BF6 case that you saw all the content creators got. I don't know if you can make that out. I can't tell. My eyes are so poor, I can't see if you can see all of it. I can't remember how I had this. I don't remember how I had any of that, to be honest. Camera's much better for personal branding. Yeah, apparently it helps with sponsorships. I mean, Lord knows we could use some, so we'll see. We'll see. Weird day, dude. Weird day. I should put a percentage on the screen. I don't know what it's at, but obviously it's over the 100%, so thank you so much. So, that's where we're at, everybody. No decisions made, no nothing. I'm just checking the video from yesterday. Yeah, I think it's very clear if I am going to keep doing video content, I can't just keep going down the road that I've been doing, because as successful as it used to be, it's just not now because of the landscape of Battlefield on YouTube, which sucks. But like the past 2 that I've done, the analytics are so bad. So I'm gonna have to do different things. No, I just don't know how I'm gonna pull that off, but I'm gonna have to give it a go and see how things work out, and then yeah, somewhere down the line, if it's really not working, then it's really not working. The last 2 have just bombed so hard. We will see. What's the daily goal thing even mean? So the daily goal is just something that I have... It doesn't even fit properly anymore. Sorry, I have to resize everything. Can I do that now? Bear with me. Let me see if that works. Did I even do it? I don't know. Whatever, I'll do it for another time. The daily goal is set at a point where I knew that if I earned that goal every single day, streaming 6 days a week, every week, fucking awful, by the way, like, ridiculous way to live. If I earned that money every day that I streamed 6 days a week, every week, I knew that I was knew what I was making per year, and it was what I deemed to be an acceptable amount for the continuation of what I'm doing, not building up another career, blah, 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 blah. Unfortunately, whereas it used to be something I pretty regularly hit, that is no longer the case. Alas, the daily goal has remained as a marker for something that I can still try to chase to a degree. Whether that is still functioning as it should be is debatable, but it's there. I offer things in the description for like extra daily goals and things. I mean, I probably owe something now. I'm not going to do it today in this circumstance, but let me have a look. Okay, so I owe 50 push-ups. I won't do those now, but I owe 50 push-ups. And if there's double dailies and all that, there's more rewards to unlock, because I think people should be rewarded for their support. Because you're not just supporting to keep this running. There should be additional reasons and incentives. So that's how that functions. That's why that's there. It used to be a lot more relevant than it has been for the past 2 or 3 months. This year, to be honest, but yeah. I think the overcrowding will go down in a month or so. I think it will. It's just whether... It's a case of how much content is left that is my style at that point, and how saturated everything is, and whether it makes enough of a difference for me. I don't fake the push-ups, Tom. Thank you, Tom. Yeah. It might help that people will move to Call of Duty and go back to Warzone and whatever else. We'll have to see how much it helps. Hi, Shizzy. Not really made decisions, mate. So I didn't do this. I haven't done this stream to be like, hey, I'm quitting. But I didn't need to. I wanted to let people know that I'm closer than ever, and my thought process has... I still don't know how that didn't hit. My thought process is leaning more and more that way as things go. But I don't want to. I do want to. I want to quit because I'm so unhappy, but I don't want to quit because I want this to work. And if this works, I think I will be happy, and I'll keep interacting with you guys and everything that comes with this stuff. So, yeah, very conflicted. I hope you're well. Anyway, thank you for tuning in. Do you think the lack of enjoyment from players also would affect your videos because people aren't as interested in BF? Yeah, if interest plummets, then my videos will get less views. It's something that I definitely struggled with in BF5 and BF 2042 to a degree. It was part of the reason why I just bailed on 2042 for content, and part of why I'm in this situation now. Because my content for 2042 was just going to be me complaining for 3 years. So there was going to be a lack of interest in the game, and I was just going to get hate viewership, or, you know, or just rage baiting, and I would be in a much better position now had I done that, but I don't think it was the right thing to do in that circumstance.
I need a medic!
Thank you, Shizzy. How far off are you from having it work? Like, enough for you to feel like you've won/made it? For me to feel like it's where I need it to be, I need 100,000 subs, because that was my goal when I started, and that allows me to get a plaque. I can get another plaque made and I can give it to my dad. I really want to be able to do that. I also want to have different revenue streams. I want the stream will still make money, because if you live stream, you will make money. How much varies, of course. But I don't want the stream to be my income. I don't want to be relying on the stream. It's terrible for me from a health perspective. It's unreasonable for me to try and do that, because I just simply don't have the level of interest that facilitates that comfortably. And I don't want the viewership to feel like they are under the gun all the time to provide. It sucks for everybody. So I don't want this to be the case anymore. It should be just part of the overall revenue. So I want to be able to push out my videos and have them do relatively well when they're on Battlefield, just in general, because that means the ad revenue is rolling, you're getting more views over time from your back catalogue, and if you're getting decent views, you get sponsorships, and if you get sponsorships, you make a lot of money. If I get a good sponsorship, it makes my money potentially for the week. Or more, if you do really well. So that's what I need. I'm not actually looking for that much, basically. I just want to get the next 11,000 or so subscribers and have my videos do relatively well so that I can feel like I have a sustainable living again. That's it. That's it. Anything else is bonus to me. This is not tight enough. Anything else is bonus to me. Genuinely. Like, I'm sure it's awesome to be a multi-millionaire or whatever. I just want this to be stable. I just want to be earning relatively good money and not working all the time. And have my 100k subs. If I have that, I'm probably pretty happy, honestly. Yeah, I think I'd be pretty happy. I know a lot of people want to go beyond that and go, right, I've done that, I want to go up and I want to make this much, I want to get this many followers, and that's just extra for me. Yeah. I just want to get back to enjoying my life, making content I enjoy, and not looking at it every day and being like, wow, that's doing terribly. And just have money rolling in. Just like a good amount of money. Nothing crazy, just solid income. That'd be good. I'd be really happy with that. It probably sounds like I'm really close to that, but I feel like I'm a million miles away. Because I thought there was the possibility that BF6 could provide that. So the way it's gone so far has me feeling pretty down. I feel so far away from it. I should say I have one sponsor, 2 sponsorship things coming up, I think, from companies, and I have some sponsor stuff coming up from like being in the whole content creator thingy, so I will be doing that, which is good. You know, that is good stuff. But as I said, it's not really about the immediate thing for me. It's about the long term, and I think I think I'm getting those offers at the minute because of how my early content did on BF6, and I'm just really worried by how my stuff right now is going. So that's why the whole panic is there, to be honest with you. Yeah. Thank you. Oh, well, Epicenter, we'll catch you anytime. Tuning whenever you want. And Salty, hello, mate. So it's like 100,000 viewers per video happy, or 500,000 viewers. What would be a consistent amount of viewers for you to feel comfortable? Oh, dude. If I was getting 100,000 views per video, and I was doing 2 or 3 videos a week, I'd be happy. I'd be happy. I want 100,000 subscribers, like as a separate thing. 100,000 views per video for me would... more than happy, mate. If that video is a decent length and you get decent watch time on it, 100,000 views for a video can net you £200 to £500. Like, dude, I ain't greedy. Like, 100,000 views in a video would be awesome. 500,000 views in a video would be unbelievable. So no, that's honestly, that's above what I would... That's above my minimum, for sure. That's way above my minimum. If I'm putting out videos and they're getting minimum 10,000 views relatively quickly, which makes me barely any money, but minimum 10,000, and then the bulk of my videos are getting 30 to 100,000 views, happy, man. I swear, I'm pretty happy if that were the case. Yeah. Yeah. There's no...
Spotted a sniper.
I just don't have that... I don't want to bash anyone else. But from my perspective, I just don't have that greed within me. Like, I would love to make a lot of money as much as the next person, right? But it doesn't factor into, like, my daily desire. I just want to be making good money that makes me feel comfortable doing this still. As I've said so many times, everything else should just be bonus. Everything else is bonus to me. Yeah, I just want to be happy, man. I just want to be happy. I want to be happy doing my job. I want to be happy putting out my content. I want to be happy interacting with the people of the internet. I want to be happy with my daily life. And man, I want to take some weekends off sometimes, you know, and go on holiday and not feel guilty, or have a day, man, have a day where I don't do any work at all and not feel bad about it. I've not had a day this year where I haven't done at least some work, apart from when I just literally wasn't at home. My mate's wedding, going to Japan. Can't remember if there's anything else. It's tiring, man. So I want to get out of that circumstance. Like, I did a little bit of work on the day that my dad had his heart thingy. Which is fucking stupid, man. Like, that's stupid. And that's my fault. Like, that's my broken mental state. That's my fault. That's stupid. I have to fix these things. That's the wrong way of putting it. If I could fix it, I'd do it like that. I need the circumstance to change so that this isn't the case anymore. That's a much better way of putting it. I did see that, Jack. Yes, I did. But then Moist Critical is one of the biggest creators, so it's understandable. But yeah, if you're doing... stupid statement, asinine. If you're doing well, if you're at the very, very top of the food chain, you earn so much money. But the difference between the levels is so extreme, because some people view if you're doing this professionally, you're at the top of the food chain, like, so me. But when you get to this point, you find there are so many levels to this. So there's people that are just about getting by, right? And then there's here, and then there's here, and then there's here where you're earning pretty good money, and then there's here where you're earning a lot of money, and then there's through the roof somewhere. Like, the levels are so spread. And everyone is, everyone's just on their own journey with it. I appreciate it, Shizzy. Thank you, man. Thank you very much. Thank you for that subscription. Welcome to the community. No, I haven't had my blood work done. No. I take... In terms of what you said, I am burnt out. I know I suffer with anxiety issues, and I know I have issues with depression. I know this is pre-content. I know that's the case already for me. Burnout is to do with content. The other two are just a facet of my existence. In terms of being in the house all the time and streaming all the time, I try to supplement for it, taking vitamin D and all that sort of stuff. So I think I'm good, but next time I go to the doctors for something, I'll ask the question. So thank you. Some people want 1 million views per video. Yeah, I think it's a case of people want to maintain where they're at. Sometimes it's greed. Other times, yeah, that it's once you reach a certain point, you don't want to fall below it. It's probably something to do with that. But I think even when my videos were doing really quite well, I never lost sight of just reality. You just don't want the greed. You don't want the greed set in, and you don't want to lose track of who you are and how you're going about thinking about things. So it's been a key thing for me that when things were very much at the start, and when things were just kicking off, and when things were good, and when things were bad, and when things were really good, and where things are right now, always tried to maintain a focus on still being the same. And I think that's really important. Whether I do a good job of that or not is open to each individual's own interpretation and decision making, but I feel like of all the things that I've done a bad job of, that's not one of them. I like to think I'm still the same regardless of how things are. I like to think so. We said 50 million in the bank. He's allowed to stop because he has more than enough to live comfortably. Yeah, I mean, didn't he turn off? He turned off all his ways of donating and stuff, didn't he? I know Disguise toasted that a long time ago. I don't know if he still does it now. I have no idea. But I know there was a point where Disguise Toast made it so that people couldn't donate to him anymore, I believe. Because he's just like, I have enough money. And I shouldn't be having people that have so much less money than me giving me money, which is a really admirable decision to make, in my opinion. Like, if you've got tens of millions, unless you specifically need to keep earning that for some reason, whatever it might be, then I can't see a reason why people that don't have tens of millions should be handing you money. So yeah, I commend that kind of decision, personally. My biggest fear for small creators that are right on the edge of making it big is they lose themselves to the money. They see how much they make and now they only want more. Yeah. Never gonna be for me, man. Never has been. As I've said before, if I keep doing content for one more week or for another decade, if things stay as they are, get worse, or go to the moon, you gotta still be a grounded person and not give in to just the money. I mean, again, I said earlier, that's why I'm turning down sponsorships I don't agree with still right now. Like, trust me, taking some of the sponsorships I've been offered would completely change how things are for me right now. The sustainability wouldn't be a problem. Like, I got an offer, I can't say the name, but I didn't like the company. But I got an offer where if I just did a 30-second bit in a video, every time I did that in a video, I'd get $400. Every time. Because it's a shady company. And I could do that, take the money, and have no worries anymore. But I would be doing the wrong thing by you, and I'd feel shit. Like, I would lose my integrity. And that's really, as I said earlier, that's really hard for me to swallow right now because I could really use some kind of guaranteed income. But it's the wrong decision. It's the wrong thing to do. And I don't really have any doubt about that. Like, I just don't. I just don't have any doubt about it. I made the right choice.
Need a medic!
Oh, I'm trying to catch up. Hi, Bear Boy. How are you, dude? Welcome to the stream. If you make what you want plus, let's say, like 10k more, would you keep the 10k or would you go out and help those less fortunate? I think it's a complicated one. I'll explain why. It depends what your levels are that you've set income-wise, right? So I think I would strip away any sort of like defined monetary amount. What I would say is, I think when you're self-employed at least, you need a base level of income to be comfortable, right? You should then be comfortable earning more than that to try to cover for if things have blips and whatever. And try to have some to invest for the future, etc., etc. If you've got all of those things covered and you are comfortable, you're at the point where you are, let's say you are well off, okay? I don't know if you'd say rich or whatever, but you're well off. Then I don't want anyone to feel pressured. You do what you want. But I think the reasonable decision to make is if you are well off and you are earning a lot of extra, consider what you can do for other people. Financially. And if you're not willing to do it financially, try and put some effort into doing it with your time, with your other resources, with your platform, whatever it might be. Because it can make some other people's lives so much better. And that's important. Like, I appreciate the support that I've received today and how receptive a lot of people have been to me talking about this. And how many people have been like, hey, I don't want you to quit. I enjoy that. Or I enjoy this or whatever. That's awesome. Like, it actually makes a difference to me. It makes a difference to me financially. It makes a difference to me in terms of how I feel about the interaction, the support, and all that stuff. Therefore, doing something positive for someone else means they can benefit in that regard. So yeah, I don't have an answer for this specific question, but I think if someone's in a fortunate enough position to be earning a lot of money, it's only reasonable to do some good with it as well. I don't imagine many people would disagree with me on that one. Whether people would do it, even if they agree with me, I have no idea, but I'd like to do some good for people, somehow. if I ever feel able to. If I ever have enough money or enough time or whatever it is. Just something small even. Like, I give to charities and things. But it'd be nice to do something on like a personal sort of physical level with like an individual at least at some point. I don't know. I think I got off track. But that's my answer. It's 6:20. I should probably go because Emily might be waiting for eating. I don't know how I feel about this today. I don't know what any of it means for me, for what's to come, for my plans. I don't know if it's possible for me to come to any conclusions right now, even small ones. But I really appreciate you hanging out. And I hope you've... I don't know if enjoyed it is the wrong way of phrasing it, but I hope you've garnered something of worth from this. I hope you feel a little more connected to me now, in person. And I hope it's more believable now when I say that I genuinely do view you as people and interact with you on a human level, and you're not just names on a screen, and you're not just people that can give me money. Like, I genuinely am interested, and if you're around a lot and interacting with you a lot, then I really do wish you the best. I hope this makes it easier to connect with that. And I have no idea how this is all going to go moving forwards. I'm not going to let today make me feel like everything's going to be okay. But I'm not going to allow this to just instantly be utter depression as soon as I click off go live. I just have to work out what I'm going to do and see how things go. The money helps. It's a very simple statement. The money helps. The money is the first thing. But I gotta work out what's gonna make me feel okay about all this, aside from just income. And if that's possible. Because as I said, if a certain person does come back, as they have said, and if they support like they used to, which they do not have to do, and I will love them all the same. But if the income in a month's time is good again, that'd be cool, but I gotta work out what's going on with me and what's to do with this channel that makes me feel good about doing it for the long term. Only I can do that, so we'll see. Gotta work out what the hell my next few videos are gonna be so I don't bomb. That's gotta be the first thing. But I've learned that the list videos don't work now, so yeah. Living is learning. Ivan, you're king of the stream, Cheesy Pie of the day. Cannot tell you how much I appreciate it, man. Yeah, dude. I mean, it's the difference between another very low income day and an actual good day. So all I can say is thank you. I hope you understand how much I appreciate that. Thank you so much. Ernie, thank you for your support, my friend. I really appreciate it if you're still here. Jimmy, thank you for the memberships and for the dono. And we had continuation of memberships from Simon, Hemi, Johnny. Thanks for any subs. Thanks for listening. Most people were super nice as well, which no one had to be, so I appreciate that. I'm glad you guys didn't feel weird about the face cam. Everyone was really nice as well. No one said anything horrible about me, so cheers. I guess I'll go now. I don't know what tomorrow's going to be. I assume I'll stream. It's not a guarantee. Gotta tighten this. It's not a guarantee. But I will probably stream. Darren, thank you, dude. I will see if there's anything I can add for that at some point down the line. Maybe. I have a think, mate. Thank you, dude. I appreciate it. Yeah, sorry. We'll see you guys tomorrow if I stream. I don't know what time. I don't know with or without face cam. I don't know if it'll be a good or a bad day. I don't know if I'll work on a video tomorrow or not. I don't know when I have the next video out. There will be a short, because I don't allow a day to pass without putting out a short across all my platforms. Maybe Facebook will monetize me eventually, so that will definitely happen tomorrow. If I do stream tomorrow, it may or may not be with my friends. Nothing is defined, nothing is decided. But if I see you tomorrow, I'll see you tomorrow. Thank you very much. And GetGoodGuy, we've been great. Dan's got tiny hands. I love you very much, and I will see you soon, and hopefully soon things will be much better. Your hands do look bigger than Dame's on camera. Hold you. Thanks. See you soon. Bye-bye.